Hey, what's up, BRB? These are just a few of the common texts many teenagers receive every day. According to Zan Villines, an article posted on July 26, 2012, texting has in many ways made communication easier by helping people avoid long, unpleasant phone conversations and making a quick hello much more convenient. Good, bad, indefinite. Texting is a part of our everyday lives, and it is important to see why it has become such a trendy phenomenon, and it's also important to know its advantages and disadvantages. So why use a cell phone to text instead of calling a person? The ease of communication through texting has become more and more common according to the Pew Institution of Research in 2013. 90% of adults have cell phones. Americans aged 18 through 29 send an average of 88 texts per day, and that number is rising. There are so many reasons people send texts. Sometimes it's not convenient to talk. It'll save time maybe to send a text, and if it's not convenient to talk maybe during a meeting. Some people are too shy. They like to avoid face-to-face contact, and sometimes there's fear of rejection. It's easier to hide behind a text than actually saying the words you feel to a person's face. Sometimes it's the only way people know, like children growing up, that's how they were taught. They were always taught to send a text, or they don't, never were brought to the face-to-face communication. 67% of cell phone owners find themselves checking their phone for messages, alerts, or calls, even when they don't notice their phone ringing or vibrating. Some people are non-confrontational and don't want to have to deal with confrontation, so they'll send a text. A good way to manage communication, this is also a good way to manage communication with people a large amount of people that are from a variety of areas. And I think most importantly, it allows one to multitask. Each and every day, when you look around, it is easy to see texting as a large part of the society we live in today. But the real question is, we need to ask ourselves, does texting have a negative impact on ourselves and our society as a whole? According to the Pew Institution of Research, published in 2013, texting is a common method of communication, but it is also important to look at other sources to see the negative impact it may have on our world today. In the ever-expanding wake of technology, many devices are becoming substitutes for face-to-face communication, and it could be killing relationships. By texting, people are much less likely to have meaningful conversations, and will have more superficial conversations. Tones can also be very misinterpreted through texting. Have you ever heard of that guy that sent a breakup text, or couples having arguments over text because of a simple misunderstanding in wording or tone? There's things that people won't have the confidence to say face-to-face, so they'll send it in a text, maybe hurtful words, insults, fighting. There's no way to see the other person's emotions and pain. The most important disadvantage to texting I see is texting while driving. According to the Texting and Driving Safety.com, which the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration and the National Safety Council published in 2013, the number one driving distraction reported by teen drivers was texting while driving. Texting while driving causes 1,600,000 accidents per year, 330,000 injuries per year, 11 teen deaths every day, and nearly 25% of all car accidents. So 1 in 4 car accidents are caused by texting and driving. Texting while driving will cause a person 6 times more likely to cause an accident than driving but intoxicated. It's almost like driving, they say, with 4 beers in your system. Texting while driving also makes you 23% more likely to crash, and it takes place about 800,000 drivers at any time across the country. This one statistic I found really interesting was texting while driving causes a person an average of 4.6 seconds looking off the road. If they were driving at 55 miles per hour, this would be the length of an entire football field without looking at the road. So after going through the negative aspects that texting has on communication, it is important to also see the positive aspects it brings to society. According to the article SMS Messaging and Effective Communication Skills by Olivia Benson, published in 2013, texting has surged our communication forward, allowing us to talk to a vast amount of people over a large distance with the push of buttons. Texting allows communication where face-to-face conversation may not be appropriate. So, for example, texting a boss if you're out sick, the boss may be in a meeting or something, so it may be easier to just text them. Canceling a previous commitment. Like I said, during a meeting or during a time where others, you may not want them to hear your conversation, it's just easier to send a text. A major thing is you have text to look back on for a record, and you can store text. People are also more likely to read a text due to its availability. It'll take less time than a phone call or email, and it reduces unneeded talk time and goes straight to the point, and it's instant gratification. Media has an effect on our culture, but to what extent? It is easy to see today's society is affected by the changes in communication every day through different social networks. It's no surprise that children today are taught to use technology as a way to get ideas across to others rather than face-to-face communication that we have been taught in the past. The telephone call is a dying institution. The number of text messages sent monthly in the U.S. exploded from 14 billion in 2000 to 188 billion in 2010, according to the Pew Institution survey published in 2013, and the trend shows no sign of abating. So in conclusion, sending a text is useful, but is in no way of communication heading straight in the right direction. You decide if it's putting our society in the right direction. Thank you.